Hello, family. So it's been a while since I've done a prediction video, and welcome to the Tinfoil Hat Series. It's a new series that I'm going to be talking to you more about. But to start, I'm really happy to be back. I might take the tin hat off if it gets a bit hot. But for now, I am going to just riff a bit with you and see where we go with things. As ever, use your discretion. This is for entertainment purposes. And you can follow more of what I have to share on my Substack. I'll be putting the links below. And also know that I always advise you to think for yourself and take what resonates and just leave the rest. So let's see where we go. I have my cards with me. I haven't used cards in readings for a very long time, but sometimes I think that it might be fun. And depending on where we go with things, let's see where it takes us. So to begin, I'm going to take my hat off because it's kind of hot. Put that here on the side. So to begin with, it's probably been over a year since I've made a prediction video, and the way that it usually works is that I riff for a while, and then I get insights coming in. I'll see pictures, I'll get ideas, I'll hear a sound, and let's just see what happens. So obviously, the world is in a state of chaos. You will know that I have been less active on my social media because I lost my account for a while for supporting Gaza. So straight up, this is an account that is pro-Palestine, and I do a lot of work in the decolonization space, and that's what I stand for. So if that's going to trigger you in any way, I wanted to let you know up front so you can decide whether you want to stay. That being said, let's go into whatever I feel is coming into the field to share the most. I'm just going to ask for protection for this space, bringing in the energy of Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, my guides. Let everyone who listens to this video now and on replay be protected. Let everyone use the discernment for their highest good. I ask the Creator, Source, Divine to speak through me, that I speak with words of love, wisdom, grace, compassion, and that everything that I see, that people be able to receive that in a way that suits them and serves them in the highest and best way. I ask that only the people that this video resonates with be drawn to it, and everyone else just walk on by. Ask for myself to be protected, for us to transmute all the darkness and density in the earth realm right now. And so it is. So let's begin. I'm going to shuffle these cards. They are from Kim Krantz, The Wild Unknown. Beautiful cards. And I don't look at explanations. I use the images on the cards to just kind of give me inspiration. So let's ask where we should go first. What's in the highest and best interest for mankind, for the viewers, for us to know at this time? Where should we begin our world predictions? What is most important for us to know as we begin this session? And the card that comes up is the Tear. That makes a lot of sense. I just got this very heavy feeling in my heart. For all the grief, I'm seeing a lot of, obviously, war, destruction, desolation, little children on the ground all over the world, not just Gaza, Sudan, Congo, little children in desolation. And it's like the world is grieving, suffering. And also these tears, they're a release. They're a release from a lot of the density that we're carrying. So right now in the collective, there's an energy of grief. And it's almost like the galactics, the beings in other realms, and I do believe there are lots of beings who are there, who are not in human form, who are in spirit form, etheric form, who are here to really guide us. And they're watching us, and they're also shedding a tear for us. And also to know that to feel these emotions and to feel the density in this realm, it just means that we're human. And it's healthy for us to release in terms of tears. It's healthy for us to feel these emotions and to allow them to really to go through us, because we are not meant to hold on to this density, but to allow it to be expressed through us, allow it to be released through us. So don't try to pretend that it's not happening. And I know that in a lot of light and love, new age spaces, we're taught to just focus on the light. And unfortunately, we can't deny what is coming up in the collective. And so as we open this reading, I just want to acknowledge all of our heavy hearts. I want us to acknowledge our grief, our pain, and sending unconditional love, protection, and miracle energy to all the people in Gaza, Sudan, Congo, all the repressed regions of the world, everywhere where people are fighting for their freedom. When we see you, we witness you, we acknowledge you. So the earth realm is dense right now. And what else? Where else are we being called to right now? And I'm sensing, obviously, the energy of the United States and being called to that part of the world. And let's just see what energy we are picking up for the United States. And it's called The Poet. I would like to show you how that looks. And you can see there's like a crystal ball and some kind of a dark entity that is really almost controlling the United States. And I see the United States as being this crystal ball, and it's being held by this dark energy. So it really feels like they're puppet masters that are collaborating with elements in the government of the United States, and as well other entities in the shadow, in the dark, that are manipulating the strings for the United States. And I'm also seeing a secession, two secessions. I've spoken about this in the past, and I see California and Texas at some point going to secede the Union. I can't tell you when, but it feels like as the United States is going through a lot of turmoil, it's releasing a lot of darkness, and I see these vultures being released. And it feels like as these vultures are escaping into the air, there's also a lot of disclosure coming. And we're seeing that with what's happening in the US. But these vultures, or these black birds that are escaping up into the sky, it seems like we're being shown things from a higher level. And the fact that they're black is that there's a lot of darkness being disclosed. And again, because this puppet master has no face, the dark shadow has no face, the controllers have no face. For me, that's really showing us that we are not actually able to discern, see for now at least, who is responsible. We all have ideas, conjectures about who that is, and we can get into that at a later stage. But it feels like these dark masters, and it really doesn't matter if you're blue or red. I hope by now that we know that that's just a farce. These puppet masters control both sides, all sides. And that's not just in the US, that's globally. We can see this all over Europe. And I'm seeing the card for the United States. It's echoing throughout a lot of the world, definitely the Western world. And it's like these puppet masters have been holding the strings and actually have been keeping the world in their clutches. And so back to the secession, which I'm very much feeling. So California, Texas, I do sense a quickening of the energies to do with actually the power and the economics of both California and Texas. They are rich states, and I feel like the people are going to want to secede because they realize that the central government no longer has the interests of the people at heart. Let's ask for a clarification card about the energies around the secession of at least these two states. What are the energies around the secession of these two states? Please show us. The siren. Yeah, this is the card of the siren. It's like alarm bells are going off. And you see the tail of this fish. It's going into the water and there is red, like a red ruby stone. And it feels like I'm just going to say exactly what comes out. That feels like blood. I'm hearing blood sacrifice. I'm also hearing sacrifice. I'm hearing, sensing a lot of things happening underground. Underground. I'm seeing children, underground, blood, sacrifice. I know this doesn't sound good, but I'm just going to say exactly what comes out, exactly what I see, feel, sense by looking at the card. And like this blood ruby, the blood ruby stone, it's like the blood ruby stone is saying that enough blood has been shed. And with this tail of the fish going downwards, it's like there's been so much darkness, so much blood has fallen. And I am hearing, sensing child sacrifice, probably through the southern borders, that these two states are going to be the first to secede. I can't give you a timeline, I don't know, but the seeds have already been set for that. And let's move on. What do we need to know about Europe? Let's go to Europe next. What do we need to know about Europe? What do we need to know about Europe? The threshold. Wow, I got goosebumps on this card. This is the threshold card. And we can see feet right at the edge of a threshold. So Europe is at a threshold. It feels like whatever is happening and I'm feeling, sensing in the next 3 months is going to be a catalyst for how the rest of the year plays out. I also see like the magma under the earth coming up, so probably volcanoes. Volcanoes erupting, the earth. The earth is angry. Gaia is angry. So I'm seeing a lot of volcanic activity, and there's a lot of anger, the energy of anger throughout Europe. So this is a message for throughout Europe. A lot of anger, a lot of fire energy. There might actually be a fire, wild fires. I'm seeing Greece, definitely the south of Italy, fire, anger, earth. Let's ask for some more information. That also definitely shows me war energy. We're on the threshold of war. And remember, that doesn't mean that it's going to happen. We already have a war in the Ukraine. We already have war in Gaza, in Palestine, in Syria, Lebanon. So it's like Europe is feeling this repercussion of wars basically on its borders. Tell us more, tell us more, tell us the energy of Europe. There's two cards that came out, the village and the ring. So let's go one by one. So the village, I'm going to show this image to you, the village. And this image, it's like things are happening far away. So it's like the mountains are in the background. It's not happening here. But what we see is that we're actually all connected. And whatever happens in distant lands, and that's like the mountain here, what's happening in distant lands, there's a thread, there's a hand that is stirring the pot in Europe. So whatever happens far away, we're not isolated. And it's to say that we are all a village. You can't think that something happening far away is not going to affect you, because the world is a village. And it seems like the hand of fortune is at play here. And it feels like Europe is really on the edge of something. And that brings me into the second photo, which is a card, which is the ring, the eye in the ring. And the eye is surrounded by red. And actually, that looks like a reptilian eye to me. So it does feel like dark energies are at play in Europe, and we're being watched. And there's like this ring of fire around Europe, and it feels like karma is coming up. Karma is catching up with Europe. And as I had felt for the United States, I also feel Europe is going to secede. I don't believe there's going to be a United States of Europe as we see it now. We've already seen Brexit. But that is not the end. And it feels like the whole European experiment is coming to an end. And tell us more about Europe, the secession of Europe. What are the energies around Europe? What country or countries stand out in Europe? Show me. Wow. Whew. The destroyer. So that card, it's like, whew, that's a very dark card. And the energy of the destroyer, it just feels like Europe is at the verge of self-destruction. And there's like this energy, this ominous energy on the outside looking in. And like for the United States, I do feel like there are these dark hands at play, hands of manipulation. And it's not even the governments, it's above the governments. It's like these hands at play that are using governments and politicians as their puppets. And it feels like the energy of whoever is controlling, whatever energy is controlling the energy of the United States, is also energy controlling the energy of Europe. And it feels like the elites as well. The elites in all countries, including in countries of the global south, what we call the global south, there are elite elements in the global south that historically have collaborated with these dark masters, with, let's say, the colonizer. But the colonizer is not just the West colonizing the East. It's also how we have been colonized. Even the people in the West have been colonized. And when I say colonized, it's you have become slaves. We have all become slaves to these puppet masters. And actually, it doesn't matter where we are. It's just playing out in the macro field with the energy of war, where we're seeing Israel versus Palestine and Congo and Sudan, and we've seen flare-ups with India and Pakistan, and we're seeing how China is being vilified, Russia is being vilified with Ukraine. And again, I'm seeing the hands of these puppet masters that are pitting people one against the other. But if we're going to come back to Europe, and we were talking about the secession of Europe, I do feel that Europe is on the edge of its own destruction. And it feels like those seeds, the seeds of this destruction are being able to be seen now. So I'm being asked to go to the energy of the country of Germany. Let's go to the country of Germany. Show me Germany. What is happening in Germany? What do we need to know about Germany? So there's a swan, the lover. Now, it looks like a beautiful card, right? But what I see behind it is that Germany needs a lot of love. And there's a beautiful, powerful energy wanting to come out. So in the background, it feels like there's the energy of the lover. And it's a very powerful energy, but it almost feels like an illusion. It feels like that's the outer image it wants to portray. Let's ask for more information. Can you explain the lover card for Germany? Explain the lover card. What is behind this card? What's the energy behind this? Oh, wow. Apocalypse. Can you see that? Apocalypsis. So here we see, when I asked about Germany, we got this. It's trying to show that it's doing the right thing. It's the lover. It's about unity, beauty. But what's the energy behind it? This is the dark energy behind Germany. Apocalypse. So it really feels like the destruction or the disintegration of Germany is coming, of Europe is coming through Germany, and also the karma of Germany. This feels like the karma of Germany. And the karma of Germany is very much here for the world to see. Again, there's an eye here. And right there, I'm going to ask for more information. The karma of Germany is leading to the apocalypse of Europe, so the destruction of Europe. And I'm seeing a thread. Where is this thread going? There's a thread reaching out, this apocalypse thread. We're talking about the disintegration of Europe. Germany's karma featuring heavily. And there is a thread going outwards. Where is this thread? Show me the thread. The offering. So there's the energy of the offering here. It's like a hand reaching out. It's like Germany is going to have to make amends, reach out for the wrongs it has done. Very much the karma of Germany making a peace offering. And we here have the energy of the moon, things that are hidden, things that are in the subconscious. I'm hearing subconscious trauma in the German psyche. And obviously we're taken to what happened in the Second World War with the Holocaust and how it's linked to the Holocaust happening in Palestine right now. So we see the hand of Germany featuring strongly. So what happened in Germany, what the karma of Germany, is being implicated here, and it's making a peace offering. And it really, it's like reaching out this hand, because we know that in the Second World War, because of what happened in Germany, Palestine was handed over by the Western powers, very much the energy of the United Kingdom implicated here, handed over. Sykes-Picot, look up that treaty, the Balfour Declaration, everything, the seeds of World War I and II, what happened in the Second World War, all of that energy is coming up now, definitely in Germany. And I'm seeing a parallel between obviously what happened in the Second World War, the horrors that they inflicted, repeating again in Palestine, and how they're going to have to make a peace offering. Now I'm being taken to the energy of the UK, obviously, because that's directly linked. I'm just following the threads, seeing where it takes me. We're taken to the energy of the UK. What do we need to know about the energy of the UK? The flame. It's like a ticking time bomb. The energy, the UK is a ticking time bomb right now. And there's a lot of dark energy coming up out of this mountain pyramid. The flame has been lit. And it's not sunny in the background, it's quite dark. So at this moment in time, it feels like, again, there's a lot of dark energy coming up. In the UK, we're seeing that with a lot of the oppression of the government. We're seeing that with a lot of censorship happening, not just in the UK, it's throughout the Western world. I live in France, and I can say it's definitely here as well. And at least for a while, there's like this fog over the UK, and energy, anger is building. So the flame has been lit. So things are, they've already been kicking off, but they're about to boil over. What does it mean? What's boiling over in the UK? The crone. Oh my God, you can't make this up. Look at that symbol. What do you see? That symbol. That is the Star of David. My God. Taking a deep breath. So there's a blackbird holding the Star of David, a coin, money, the crow. There's an old energy of darkness that has taken hold of, here I see that as the Jewish religion, and that bird has got its clasping it in its clutches. And so it's like, I'm just going to say exactly what comes out. So it's like Israel, which is representative of the Jewish nation, has in its clutches the United Kingdom, because this is a card we pulled for the United Kingdom. And it's like the UK is held by, I'm just going to say Zionist forces, because it's not the Jewish religion that is holding anyone hostage. It's the entity, the political entity, which is Zionism, so not Judaism, but they've captured it. The puppet masters, the Dark Lords, have captured the pain, the symbology of the Jewish religion and everything that went through the history of the Jewish people, and have captured that. The Zionists have captured that and have captured the UK. That's just the way I see it. You might see it in a different way. But we're seeing this is the crone. So it's an older energy. It's normally a wiser energy, but here it feels like this is an old energy that has kept the UK in its clutches. And it's like the hand of power, the hand of money, because that's a coin, right? This dark force has kept the energy of the UK in its control, and it's all linked to money. I'm going to pick one more card for that. What does this mean? What is the outlook? What is the outlook for the UK? I get this card, the comic. And there's like a little cat with a party hat. And honestly, the way that I see it is that we're like, the UK is like in a play. It's playing a role in the grander scheme of things. And there are all kinds of possibilities open. But that little cat with a party hat, and if you can see the eyes of that cat, there's like something looking behind those eyes. So on the front of it, the UK is pretending that everything is fine, but it's actually being controlled by this those black eyes behind the kitty cat. So it's like, I have a feeling like the government, the powers that be, the media, and these are the forces that are the front-facing image of the United Kingdom. They're going to pretend everything is fine. But there's actually a darkness and a sadness behind it. But they're putting on like a brave face. So that, I'm going to leave that there now for the UK. I'm going to see what else is coming up. Let's ask about the energy of, I don't even want to say it, but I'm going to go there. I want to ask about the energy of Palestine. Show me the energy of Palestine. Show us the energy of Palestine. Show us the energy of Palestine. I have 2 cards. Anima Mundi. The whole world. All, oh my gosh, goosebumps. All the religions. Have you seen that? The stars. All the different symbols of the world. Like everything comes together in Palestine. All eyes are on Palestine. There are so many eyes. There's so many eyes on this picture. Anima Mundi. As above, so below, the whole world. And there's still like a little flame, a little candle right in the middle. It's still holding on. But what is happening in Palestine is what is happening to the human psyche globally, which also means that's happening to each and every one of us, whether we are aware of it or not. That is happening. Whatever is happening in Palestine is happening on the macrocosm, but also to us individually on the microcosm. And it's like an amalgamation of all the different energies. So Palestine is the world. And to me, I'm hearing whatever we allow to happen in Palestine shows us what is happening in the world. Palestine is a mirror for the whole world. Oh my gosh, that's so powerful. This was the second card that came out. It was a stone. It was a stone in this triangle with a square in between. And it's like there's many different layers to this. And there's also something precious. There's something precious in the heart of Palestine, not just the land, but the spirit. And so the triangle, it's really this mind, body, spirit. It's the energy of 3, the power of 3, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. The energy of 3 goes throughout religions. And it's like this precious gift that has been actually turned to stone, because that's what's become of Gaza, Palestine, the areas around it. I see the triangle as the areas surrounding Palestine, because those are the areas that have been bombed, have been turned to stone. And I'm also going to ask for a clarification on that stone card. What does the energy of Palestine have to say for us? What is the message that Palestine is giving us as a whole? The bridge. Well, a bridge. Palestine, what's happening in Palestine is a bridge. It's the Rainbow Bridge. Oh my gosh. I feel that very strongly. So a lot of souls have gone over the Rainbow Bridge, have left this earthly incarnation because they were killed. They've gone over that Rainbow Bridge, and it's like they're helping us. They haven't died for nothing. And it's like the ancestors are helping Palestine. There is a rainbow in its future. Palestine will also bring people together. So you see the holding of hands. People reaching out, all colors, all nations. So because of what's happening in Palestine, it's like a global reset, a global reconciliation. So Palestine is about reconciliation. Gosh, that's beautiful. And finally, obviously we can't go through every country. I'm going to ask for another card that represents the energy of the next place we need to know about. And let's just see what comes up. The prayer. Wow. Wow. The prayer. I feel like this is a call on the collective to really obviously pray. A hand coming out of the ground, reaching upwards to the sky. And it feels like, honestly, I feel the energy of Jerusalem there. Call to prayer for all peoples, all religions, all faiths. I see the energetic center of Jerusalem, and I'm going to say in Palestine. But the energy of Jerusalem, that spot, the energetic grid line of Jerusalem, it's about transcendence. Transcendence from where we have been in the depths of despair all the way up. And it's like we're reaching for that and we're praying for that. And that's the message here, that we need to come together as a collective and envision a better future. And not just envision a better future, actually bring that into being. So let's ask for another card about, I was asking where we're going and I was taken to the prayer, Jerusalem, and what it means for us and where we're heading and where we're being asked to go, what we're being asked to focus on, the action we're being asked to take. The castle. The castle. And so here we see pearls in the shape of a square. And we see a rose in the middle. And then there's like a dark cutout right above the rose. It's quite an interesting picture. And honestly, right after the prayer, to see the image of this castle. And for me, I see that this castle is about being heart-centered. And castles have traditionally been the abodes of the upper class, right? And you would think that there was a hierarchy, some kind of pyramid, triangle, but no, it's a square. And it's like, I feel like this square with pearls around it signifies the new earth that we're going towards. And it signifies that this new earth has to be heart-centered, heart-led. There's no hierarchy. The castle is within us. It's about, and there's this, and in the background is this like darkness, right? So we've come out of the darkness. We've come out of the darkness and we're going towards the center of the rose, the feminine spirit, feminine energy, the rose, an offering, peace. So from prayer, we've gone to the castle. The castle is within. And it's very much, for me, the way I read it is like to be heart-led, heart-centered, without a hierarchy, so that we're all kind of encased within pearls coming out of the darkness. So I'm going to stop there. But before I go, I have something to say about the economy in general, what we have to say about the economy, because I know no matter what we're seeing in the media, and if you don't know me by now, you should know that I don't take anything the mainstream media takes as real. That's my own interesting point of view. You can have your own. And I believe, let me ask, what are the energies for the global economy? And I see this thing, it's called the king. Okay, there's a hand with like a seal, a red seal. And I feel this is also about structures of hierarchy, which for me represents the king, the hand of the king, with a seal, a red seal. So for me, the global economy, which has been hierarchical in so many ways, which has been stamped with honestly a seal of blood. I see there to be liberation from this seal, because you see light emanating from this seal. I'm going to ask for an explanation card. So for me, how I translate that is the hierarchical structures represented by the king, the hand with a red seal, which for me has been slavery, countries, economies that have been built on slavery, and we all know which those countries are, which have been built on the blood of other humans, labor, hierarchical structures, and by hierarchical structures, I mean governments. I mean governments the way they've been structured. I see that there's like a stop to that. And there's light after that structure ends. Please give me an explanation for that. The thread. So from the king, the explanation, it says a thread. And there's this red string that, again, we see the link between the red seal and then the red string. It's all tied and there's a rainbow up ahead. So we're pulling the thread of this red string, right? We're pulling this thread, this red thread, where things are about to unravel, but it's going to be good. There's a rainbow up above, but for a while, I see this to be the state of the global economy, and it's, to me, it's like the threads are coming undone. It's going to come undone. So I do see the current structure of the global economy. I can't go into every single one right now, but let's say it starts with the US, or the US is hugely implicated just because it's a reserve currency, and we're seeing that. I feel like the US as a reserve currency is not going to be there for much longer. And the hand that used to rule through slavery, through domination, imperialism, colonialism, force, subjugation, that's ending. And throughout these two cards, the common theme is like this rainbow, the rainbow colors, right? Things are coming undone. The threads are being pulled. There's going to be a big unraveling. So I do see, and this is not to fearmonger, this is just to say, this is what I see coming up. It doesn't mean I think it's good or bad necessarily, but I do feel it's happening. It's already happening. I do feel that the global economy, and all the structures of domination, control, slavery, subjugation, they're coming apart. And I'm also being asked to say that whatever we're seeing on the outside, look at what is coming undone on the inside, internally, within us. What are old structures that we need to let go of? Where do we need to set ourselves free? Where are we being slaves? Where are we being dominated? And remember that little petal, the rose in the heart. It's reminding us to come back into our heart space. It's asking us for compassion, not just for other people, other humans, for people who are suffering, but also for ourselves. Because if there's someone suffering, even one person suffering outside, that we are part of the cosmos. We are not separate. That's a very Western imperial way of looking at things. We are all part of the collective. We're part of Gaia, of Mother Earth, of this human family. And if one part of our human family is suffering, we're all suffering. So how can we bring more light to the suffering? And it's not just all kumbaya. I do feel that's also about taking action. And there's one more card. What action are we being called to take? What action? What action can we take to set ourselves and each other free? The mystic. Beautiful transformation, the butterfly, going from the caterpillar to the butterfly, the mystic, old wisdom coming through, ancestral wisdom, connecting to the upper realms, connecting to our star families, connecting to the earth, everything that's mystical, everything that is unseen, things that we cannot see but feel. And a lot of us are going to be opening up to our inner mystics, and to be able to really tap in to that energy that can liberate us, that can set us free. We're being called to be mystics, to remember our lineage, to remember all the traumas that our ancestors went through, but also all the gifts that they gave us. Thinking of all of the help that we have in the unseen realms. We've become such a materialistic society that we have lost touch, really, with the mystical part of being a human and of having a mystical existence as being human. As above, so below. We are not separate. We are everything. And this is a time of transcendence. So what can we do? Connect with our inner mystic. Go within. Be ready to let go of things that don't serve us. Be ready to change. What action can we take? What change can we take that brings us closer to ourselves, to our humanity, to our joint humanity? And it's like there's this eye above, like we are being watched. Not by the dark watchers, although that might be true as well, but we're being watched by all of our galactic family, all of our star family, all of our ancestors, all of the beings in the seen and unseen worlds. We are being watched right now of how we are going to behave. We're being seen from above as also from below. So all eyes are on us as humanity. And as part of the human family, we're being asked to transcend, to change, to go towards the light. What do butterflies do? They fly up. They pollinate, right? They help each other. They help nature. They help pollinate. We have to do the same. We have to help each other. So with that, family, I'm back, and I'll be doing more videos with my tin hat, and I hope you'll join me next time.